obviously enjoys traversing the country racing his jet car. Well, we're at Oran Park, and this is the Intercontinental A class for the junior competitors. Now they're on their warm-up lap. They'll come around and then form up for a race start. Greg Lutz, let's take a look at the grid.
A beautiful day here at Oran Park. Troy Hunt is your pole sitter aboard a top card. On the outside of him, it's Mark Winterbottom. From 3, the young man who did very well at the World Championships last year and in fact finished 11th, Ryan Briscoe. From 4, it's Clayton Pine. In row 3, it should be James Andrews, but Andrews not on the grid. And rounding up the top 6 for you, Alan Gurr.
We're in the starters' hands. This will be a standing start for the boys, and we're away. Now, jockeying for position, all important right from the start. You can see a couple of them jumping up and down in the seat there. Rusty just trying to get a little bit of traction and get on with the job. They've got quite a distance ahead of them.
They certainly have. It's only early days, but these young drivers are very, very serious. Out in front, though, the pole sitter, Troy Hunt. A very, very nice job. Boy, oh boy, one of them using all of the curves and then some. That appeared to me to be young Ryan Briscoe. So at this early stage already, he is very hungry to get himself towards the front of this field.
No doubt about it. And they storm up the bridge and over the hill. One of the beauties of this class, the juniors, is their lightweight. Of course, they are carrying ballast to bring them up to a minimum weight, but these guys are light, they're small, consequently great acceleration from these karts. Just about to complete the first lap. They come down the hill here, and just have a look at how hard these little guys have to work, because these karts, same speed as the bigger ones, it means these guys just have to be that much fitter, that much stronger.
A lot of these drivers have run the CIK series last year. That's the Australian Championships for this class. Troy Hunt, who started the series last year, he's been running very strongly. Won the pre-final from, Briscoe had a good look up inside of Clayton Pine. Pine is actually making his debut in this class, and he's doing an exceptional job running up against Hunt and, of course, the current Australian champion, Ryan Briscoe, who's running in 3rd position.
Now, young James Courtney, the Australian who won the Five Nations Cup, effectively the Junior World Karting Champion, has stepped up from this class. Realistically, many of the teams are now looking for their new talent in this particular class. It seems remarkable, doesn't it, Greg Russ, that your career starts out at almost a professional level at such a young age. And when you have a look at the karts, the preparation of these machines, there's nothing short of a professional race team backing these kids up. Realistically, they have got a lot of pressure on their shoulders.
Certainly have, not to mention the terrific presentation of the karts. They look a treat here at Oran Park. These youngsters have a great deal of pressure on them. Factory backing from tyre companies and, of course, chassis manufacturers. It's really in their shoes to perform, and at such a young age, it might be asking a lot of them, but if they perform, it's certainly a great start for them to get on to bigger and better things. You just saw a terrific move up the inside there a moment ago from the young driver Ryan Briscoe, now up into 2nd place, has relegated Pine back to 3rd, so on a charge now.
Yeah, Briscoe's doing very well. In fact, a very strong move there from him. And, the thing that surprises me with these young blokes is the fact that not only do they have to learn to compete, they've also got their schooling to concern themselves with, but they also have to have a technical understanding of the kart. You can't take your mechanic for a ride in these things. You have to come back and explain the situation. So there's a whole language that has to be learnt. It's what's necessary to tune the kart, describe to the mechanics what's wrong, and you can see that throughout the race, these guys are actually tuning the engines as well. So they have a lot to learn, a lot to contend with, apart from actually getting out there and racing. And Ryan Briscoe, he's doing a very fine job at the moment. And you can see how rough it is, how tough it is on these guys. And it doesn't matter what class you're in, that is a tough corner. They come up over Dale now, and you can see just there's a lot of attitude on the kart. You can see a lot of rubber on the track. It is very, very sticky out there.
Ryan Briscoe now sneaking up the inside of Hunt. Hunt now relegated back to 2nd. He really couldn't do too much with that. A really good move by Briscoe. You can see how hard he's working, bouncing the kart a little bit off the curbs. Hunt, though, he's let Briscoe go through, but he's still maintaining a nice, clean style on the circuit.
I've got a feeling that Briscoe really was being held up to a degree. Once he's in free and clear air, we'll see how he goes. But isn't he strong under brakes? He really did go late, and just got the thing sideways, oversteered it in. They only have rear-wheel brakes, solid axle, so when you lock one, you lock both at the rear. And he's not gotten away as cleanly as I thought he may have. But once you're in front, well, that's all you've got to do. You don't have to win by a mile. A metre will do in this case. And you can see right now that most of the karts have settled down, running a little bit wide there. Briscoe having a bit of a look down at the carburettor. I think he's decided to pull the pin and try and make the break. They're on their last lap, and for him, the name of the game is just simply try and make a big break, Greg Rust, and just pull away and absolutely slam the field.
Nothing more that you can do. He's really got to make sure that he gets it through to the finish. You've been watching him be very conservative on those. We talked about him conserving the kart before with regard to the airbox, making sure plenty of fuel gets into the engine, keep it nice and cool. Developed a nice little gap for himself at the moment over Hunt. So Hunt obviously also wanting to conserve the kart and get it to the finish line, which is what's all important. He makes his way now through the pit lane corner and across the skyline area of the Oran Park circuit to negotiate the downhill area here in front of the terrific crowd at Oran Park this weekend. Ryan Briscoe done a nice job on this particular race from the early stages, managed to get past Hunt, and he takes the checkered flag. A nice race from Ryan Briscoe. Hunt should come across the line to grab second. Indeed he does. Third place, a nice dice though. It looked as though to me it went to Pine. Well, some tremendous camaraderie amongst these young drivers. You can see they're signalling to one another. What a great result for young Ryan Briscoe, and indeed a great way for him to start his forthcoming season in Europe.
I started off third position. I got an all right start. I went back to fourth position, but just kept on driving and had a good handling CRG kart with CRG engines, and it was going really good.
And how are you coping with all the female adulation?
Oh, it's all right.
Well, to the victors go the spoils, and in this case, the spoils are soft drink. Our congratulations to all of the kart championship winners.